FMPers, it's been like 6 days since 8th edition's been released. I've been feverishly painting like a madman trying to get the Inceptor squad done. I think they're going to be pretty cool. But what I came to talk to y'all today about is this Primaris Space Marines. I pulled it out of the 8th edition box set, Dark Vengeance, and I just wanted to go over with you guys a little about the fluff they have in here, a little about how I think they're going to be used on the battlefield. So, we all kind of know with the rise of Gilliam, the huge warp rift, everything like that, you know, with Bella's Crawl, that Gilliam had new Space Marines created, which are the Primaris. And we've all read the fluff now that they've given the power to each different chapters to create Primaris. If they've given each chapter to create the Primaris Space Marines, they have, you know, some chapters have almost been fully wiped out, so they've been reinforced by Primaris, like the Space Wolves, Blood Angels are kind of in the same boat after all of the stuff we've heard about what's going on with them. So I wanted to talk to y'all today a little about what this says. So basically, it's like a mini codex, you know, like we're all used to. So they give fluff. They talk about the new captains, how they're gods of war, they're powerful, they wear this new armor, and the new captain model is absolutely beautiful. They talk about ancients, you know, everyone's like, Primaris ancient, I mean, they'd have to be old, but no, not really. They're basically just very feverish, you know. They're going to carry the chapter banner into the thickest of combat, where combat's the thickest. So, you know, they're very awe-inspiring when they're out there on the battlefield, you know, help rally the troops. Next, you know, they talk about the lieutenants. Lieutenants are kind of playing a pretty cool role that, you know, we mainly think of, you know, we've never really had this when it comes to Space Marines. You've always had your captain or your chapter master, and then behind them you've had the sergeants and veteran sergeants. You know, you've had your veteran sergeants leading each squad, that kind of thing. So the lieutenants, you know, how they fill them in now is they're playing more of a small little battlefield role. So they're, you know, kind of questioning the captain or giving him advice. They talk about, you know, how Iron Hands and different chapters are using them. Then they have the intercessor squads, which are basically almost tactical squads, except they're very specific in what they do on the battlefield. You know, they're all armed with bolters. They have the better bolters now. So they're all armed with bolters. They're fulfilling that role. I really like it how they say the Imperial Fists have kind of used them as breachers or line holders. So, you know, they're very specific in the role that they're playing. Inceptor squads, super cool jump packs. Inceptor squads are very cool. Inceptor squads are very cool because they are used in heavy jump packs. Now, the cool thing about the heavy jump packs is they actually say they can fly from like orbit. And when they land, it's like a thunderous earth shake, you know, earthquake. And so it's pretty cool how they describe them and what they're going to be used for. And then you have the Hellbastard squads, which we're all kind of like, whoa, that is a lot of plasma. And plasma now is even better because it doesn't overheat unless you want to overcharge it. And I will never be overcharging my plasma unless it's at the end of the game and I don't care if the unit dies, because I will roll a one and everything, and all my squad will die. So I'm not going to do that. So then they go in a little bit, they give you some different, what I really like right here, if y'all can see this, is they go over each chapter, and what they do with each chapter is they kind of show you how each one's being utilized. You know, the different squad markings, everything like that, you know, what fast attack's being used. And, you know, typically next is they go through this very cool thing right here. So they go through, you know, the Sons of Gilliman, but they basically go over all the different painting schemes and everything like that. And then they actually go into the actual rule set. So the captain in Gravis armor is very, very cool. I like the fact he's got a power fist with a power sword, and then he's armed with a very cool bolter. It's a pistol 3, which is very cool because you're going to be able to utilize that in close combat if you don't pummel everything to death, you know. And then on typical, they're mostly giving infantry, you know, you can reroll all hits of 1, which is kind of cool. I really like that. I think he is going to be kind of a stand-in model for the captain right now. And then they have the lieutenants. You can set them up. You can have multiple lieutenants, and you set them all up. And then you can when you deploy them, you have to deploy them you deploy them at the same time, but they can be separated on the battlefield. You know. And then I do like it. They basically have the same rule as the captain because they basically are captains. The Ancient has his banner. I really like the use of the Ancient. I think I like how they've kind of separated the Ancients, you know, basically company standards, lieutenants, everything like that. Even apothecaries you'll find out in the index and everything like that. They've separated them all out to make them buff characters, which I think is better than having just this one massive squad, because I don't think that really fits in the fluff or the theme and how you would think they would operate on the battlefield. You know, like the apothecary, standard bearer, and everything's not going to really be in one squad, you know. They may be out dispersed around depending on where they're needed on the battlefield, you know. So I do like that. And then they go through the 3 squads, you know, the intercessor squad. I don't feel this is a replacement for tactical squads. It's a troop choice, but it's got very specific uses. Because if you've looked, Rhinos, Razorbacks, Lane Raiders, every single kind of transport you could put them in do not accept Primaris Space Marines. So I think we're going to see that new tank and maybe something else as the only transports they're able to use. So really the Intercessor Squad is not going to be a troop replacement, you know, for the tactical squads. Your tactical squads, I think, are tactical squads. You're going to utilize them a lot differently than you're going to utilize this squad. This squad is mainly going to be used maybe to hold objectives, bolster up maybe a line or something like that, kind of fill in a gap. But they're not going to be used quite like tactical squads, just for the fact that tactical squads, your sergeant, or now your veteran sergeant, can have power weapons, special, you know, like a plasma pistol, grav pistol, all that other stuff that they can take. And then you can have a specialist weapon, flamers, all the other flamers, grav, all the other things. And then you can have one heavy weapon in that squad. So it allows it to take on multiple things, while this intercessor squad is a very specific squad. Same thing with your interceptor squad, your inceptor squad. I think they are going to be very well utilized for quick hitting. They do have the fly special rule, so I will think you will see them. They're going to run into close combat. They have a power basically that they will cause a mortal wound if you roll a 1, if you roll a 6. So I mean, on each dice, finish a charge move. So each time you finish a charge move within, you roll the dice for how many people have struck, and if you roll a 6, it suffers a mortal wound. So I think they're going to be a very quick hitting unit. They're going to come in with their assault bolters, unleash everything, because the bolters are assault. So you're going to be able to even move and shoot and do all that kind of stuff. So I do think they have a very specific use as a very hit and run type of unit. They're not going to be the typical like assault squad where you're going to want to get into close combat and stay in close combat. They're opposite. You're going to want to shoot the squad to soften them up, hit them in a close combat charge, and then when it's your turn, if you don't wipe out the squad, you're going to fly and jump away and be able to shoot them and fall back. And then the Hellblaster squad, very specific use as well. Since you're not able to put them in a transport, you're going to have to be very careful on how you position and move them around the battlefield, just for the fact that you don't want them to get picked off, because they can unleash a lot of damage with their plasma incinerators. So in summary, very cool. I like how Games Workshop did break this down so you can have a battle between the Death Guard and the Primaris Space Marines, so it can, you know, be a one-on-one kind of battle. But just like I said, Primaris Space Marines are going to be a very good addition, and I don't think you're going to see a lot of armies that are going to be full Primaris Space Marine armies when they go out on the battlefield. I think it's going to be a very mix of old and new, just for the fact that these things have very specific battle roles, and if you're going to be playing in a tournament, you may not want to think about using those kind of units because you don't know how well they're going to play against certain armies, and that's going to be a lot of play testing and everything people are going to be doing. But in pitch battles and, you know, match play and other things like that, I mean, not match play, but in other things like that, I think we're going to see it. I think we're going to see them used quite a bit. I know this weekend, hopefully, I'll be making it over to Jonathan's house, and I will be playing with my Inceptor squad. And so I'm going to really test them and see how they do. Now, the only bad thing is that I'm not sure if I can get an accurate example of how well they were on the battlefield. Just for the fact they're a brand new unit, first time playing on the battlefield, they're probably going to die very quickly. but I'm gonna definitely run a mix. I think I'm gonna try to do some third edition type stuff with rhinos, tactical squads, Rhino Russian. You know, just a very more balanced army, I think. And so hopefully me and Jonathan will have a good game. Once again, guys, check this out. Read over it. The fluff's kind of cool. It's going to give you a little background on all the units, how they're utilized, how other chapters are utilizing them. I think all in all, it's a very good addition to the Space Marine Army set. But at the same time, it's not going to take away from all the stuff we've built over the last, you know, all the Space Marine stuff everyone's built. So, very cool stuff. Good job again, Games Workshop, and I will see you guys later. Love you, honey. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.